So this is the Kali Audio IN-UNF studio monitor system, which could be the ideal setup for your home studio. So I'm just going to share my opinion what I think of these. If you want to look for some new studio monitors, then at least you've got some idea of what these monitors are about. So let's start with the cost. These are coming in at $599, which is roughly around £480 if you're in the UK. So what are we getting for $599? So you've got your two ball type studio monitors that sit directly on a desk, and you've got your sub that also sits on a desk. So UNF stands for ultra near field, which makes sense because it sits on a desk right in front of you. So you can either have the sub laying flat or you can have it standing upright. I've chosen to have it standing upright and just behind my screen, which I feel gives it a better look. I didn't really like how clunky it looked for me in my studio. It can also act like a shelf or stand for your laptop or your screen. It's designed so that it doesn't vibrate and interfere with your screen. So to look at, it looks really cool. It's different to other studio monitors that you normally get. I actually quite like the look. I think white would look super cool. Maybe Kali Audio should give that as an option. The two ball type monitors, they come with some rubber pads you can house the studio monitors on. And then you've got the sub, which is not that heavy, but for a sub, it's a decent size. So it comes with some cables to connect straight to the subwoofer, which acts as an audio interface. You can connect to your audio interface as well if you want to. So for the connections, you've got your cables that you plug your, I'm going to call them spheres. So you've plugged the spheres into, I'll just call them balls. You've got the two ball type monitors that you plug straight into the sub. Different type of connections. I haven't seen these connections before. And then your sub will connect by USB into your laptop, Mac or PC. You've got your dip switches, which I found super useful when I started listening to them, and that's something I'll talk about in a bit. At first I did struggle to turn these on because I thought for some strange reason that I could just plug the USB in and the USB would power it, but that's not the case. You've got a mains lead that you have to plug in, and you've got a switch to turn it on. You've got a sleep mode as well, and you've got a nice little light at the front of the subwoofer which you can turn on or off. So connecting the balls, I found it a little bit hard at first. I was wondering are you supposed to put these in? So once I've unscrewed the screw or the bolt, the nut, whatever you want to call it, you have to unscrew that properly first and then use a bit of force to push the cables in. But once they're in, they're in. Screw it and lock that and you're good to go. So the build's not too bad, feels good quality, high quality materials, sturdy. It's a little bit like the Kali Audio, the front of the Kali Audio LP8s that I've got, like a tough durable plastic. To set up your studio monitors, get a nice little guide so you know where to put the two monitors, the two ball type speakers, monitors, whatever you want to call them, and the sub, which is handy. Setting up the Kali Audio studio monitors, you've got your dip switches, so if you're set up in a certain area that has a lot of bass build up, you've got your dip switches and some diagrams to help you to calibrate the monitors to your room. So once you're set up, you've got your nice little diagrams to show you how to calibrate the studio monitors to your room. So you get a better listening experience. Because when I first ran some music for it, it sounded super bassy, like too bassy. I had a quick look at the diagram, flicked a few switches, and it sounded way better. What I liked about it as well, as soon as you put your USB in, the Mac automatically recognised Kali Audio, so I was able to just listen to music straight away, which was good. Straight out of the box, plug it in, and we're good to go. So the sound. Let's talk about the sound of these. So I listened to a bit of commercial music for these studio monitors, and the sound was okay. I think because I'm used to the LP8s, I didn't feel like it had as much clarity, I would say, as the LP8s. I felt, obviously because it's near field, everything felt super close, which is normal. It's supposed to feel like that. I found the low mids to be a little bit boxy, and maybe that was just my mix that needed sorting out, because when I listen to, for example, Brian McKnight, that sounded amazing, and that's probably because the mix is amazing. So that means I need to work on my mixes to make it sound good. And this is something that I like about them, because if you can mix your music, so like with anything, you've got to pair studio monitors, you've got to pair headphones. You have to get used to them over time. So when you do your mixing, you know how these studio monitors sound. So what I noticed with the sound as well, because I've got the LP8s, they're air level. Then you've got the IN-UNFs, on the desk firing upwards to you. It threw me off at first when I first heard them, because the sound felt like it was coming lower than the actual screen. And then when I flick back to the LP8s, it jumps back up, which is what it's gonna do because of the way they're positioned. So that's gonna take some getting used to. But what I do like about it is being able to just use them as references monitors, because I've got the bigger LP8s. I can mix on them UNFs and make some mixing decisions, which will help to create better mixes that will translate onto other devices once it's left here in the studio. So if you're in Logic, you just go to audio and just switch over to Kali Audio and just run the audio through that. For new producers looking for their first studio monitors or looking to upgrade or just have a pair for reference, these are definitely worth considering. So are these studio monitors worth $599? I like them. For you, you'd have to hear them for yourself and see if it's going to benefit you. I think it's a cool concept, the way that they've done it with the studio monitors sitting on the desk and how easy it is to set up. But what I would have liked to seen is the cables for the back of the balls to be able to take them out. It would also have been nice to have a little carry case. So if you're mobile and you like to go to different locations and you want to bring your equipment, I don't know, maybe you're staying at a friend's or you're going to a hotel, which would be crazy because these are quite loud. So I don't know how that will work in a hotel. But yeah, if you're going to different locations, it would have been nice to have a little carry case that you could put it all in, and you can have your little gym session while you're at it, walking around with that and your suitcase and your laptop. I think it's a cool little concept, and I like it. Like I said, I like being able to just switch from the LP8s to the UNFs to just hear the difference in mixes and just listening to commercial songs. Like my songs ain't normal. I would also have liked if you could have the sub on the floor, or just underneath the desk, just out the way, the two little ball speakers, monitors, just sitting there. And I would have liked that, but the way that it's set up, it has to be all together, which makes sense because of the whole sound and everything. So it's understandable. That's just me being picky. In regards to the sound quality, although I said the low mids seemed a bit muddy, a bit boomy, it might just be the room that I'm in, my listening position. It could be just the way that I've got the dip switches, but that's something I didn't like about it. The top end seems quite clear. I wouldn't say it's the clearest, but it's got a nice sizzle to the top end. Vocals sound good mixes. The vocals sound nice and crisp. At the low end, it's very, very bassy. If you like bass, you'll like these. I like bass, I like these. Only thing is, I feel like if you push it too far, it might distort, or it will distort, and you might get like a fuddy, like boombox type of sound. But if you're listening at good levels, then you're good. This thing's quite loud. 103 dBs max SPL, which is quite loud. So a nice little option for you to consider if studio monitors is something that you want to look out for. Hope this video has helped you. If it has, be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. And in the next video, I'm reviewing Kali Audio LP8s and the LP6s. So yeah, go check that out. And I'll see you over there. Appreciate your time.